going on, everybody? Michael here. Welcome back to another episode of Technoid. Today, guys, we got a brand new video for you. We are back on the Tesla accessory reviews. It has been a while since I've done that. And today we are taking a look at a brand new accessory that I have had for over 6 months that I wanted to really extensively test. And I apologize. I really apologize to TESERY, but they have been very kind and working with me on this. So thank you for being very patient with me. But today, we are going to take a look at the 10.25 Android 4G Model 3 Model Y LCD dashboard screen. It is, of course, a brand new model with a few significant upgrades from their previous screen that they sent me, and also has some cool tricks and tips in there that we're going to take a look at. And also, it is on the more pricier side, so please, guys, if you are interested, check it out in the description. I will leave a promo code so you could save some money if you are interested in buying this screen. But this video is going to be a little bit different from the previous videos that I have done, where normally I talk about the installation process and the use. I decided to focus on the day-to-day use with this, but you are going to see bits and pieces of the installation. And if you want a full video of the installation on how to set it up, it is over 2 hours long. I will make that a separate upload. If you want to watch it, it will give you extensive details into it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments for that. But let's start with the display. So, for starters, compared to the previous display, this is a much bigger display. It's at 10.25, which basically just almost 10 and a quarter. So it is a 10-inch screen, and it is running some brand new hardware. It's got a more modernized, updated version of the dashboard. It's got a nice wider array, so it does cover a lot more of the surface, but it also does a very good job of being very compatible with the previous stuff, which we'll talk about in the installation process. And it features Android Auto and also Apple CarPlay support like before, but here is where things get different. So, one of the biggest things that this now supports is antenna connectivity. This means that you can now add a secondary SIM card to this thing, and it can be used as its own device. So if you want to use this thing without connecting your phone and get navigation, Google Maps, or whatever you want to do, you can now do that with this, but you are going to have to install an antenna that is going to have to connect to the top of the screen, and that way it can read outside. And again, the installation process was very, very long. My uncle and I had to really think this one through. But the wires inside of it are very similar to the wires from the previous display, so you can still reuse the same things, including the front camera that goes on the bottom. It also now features Google Play because this is based off an Android software, so now it has a physical software. It also comes with 4 gigabytes of RAM for a more smoother and seamless operation, and it does come with 64 gigabytes of onboard storage. So this thing is pretty much a smart device on a stand. This thing has more capabilities than the previous. But with that being said, though, there are a couple of things. For starters, it does feature the Play Store. You can download your stuff. You will have to link your Android account if you have Google. You can also, again, do CarPlay and Android Auto. But one of the things that gets very tedious is the Bluetooth setup. Now, of course, TESERY did clarify how to do this, but essentially your phone is going to want to connect to the car and this device at the same time, so that way when you switch over to the Tesla, it will just transfer over the sound, which before the process on the original screen was a lot more easier than this one. And sometimes there is an audio delay that can take a while before it transfers over to the car. I do hope that they get this patched up with a firmware update. I have not seen any firmware updates since owning the screen, so I will definitely update if they do that. Another thing that I have noticed is that it does have Wi-Fi capabilities, but because of the Android connectivity or the Apple CarPlay, it's going to manually go to your phone every time. In the settings, you can turn it off to automatically connect, but sometimes I don't want it to connect to CarPlay. Sometimes I like the general interface that is presented, which shows the speedometer, and it shows the mileage, the battery charge, and it shows a nice visual layout of the car driving on the road. So sometimes I don't want to go to CarPlay, but it overrides it with the CarPlay, so I think, again, another thing they can work on. But another thing that I noticed with this display is that they don't really have a lot of custom backgrounds that you can distinguish from. Like, they have the stock, display background, which I've been using since I've owned the display. The problem that I have with it is that I would want to change it up, and I wish that they would at least give the option to have presets on. so that way you can change the design. That's just me. Now there is a way to do it. They do have other presets as you're seeing, but I wish that they had a little bit more similar to like the Tesla car style, or even just like ones that you can get manually. Now, again, with the App Store, you can, of course, change that so you can download from the App Store to get displays that you want, but to each their own. The last thing I will say on this is that when you use the software itself on the display, it does a very good job, but again, because it is based off of a Google backbone and it has Google software, it kind of just feels like using an Android. So the preference is up to you if you want to use your CarPlay or Android Auto, or you can use what's on there. I like the versatility that they give you, and I do like that they give you the RAM because the performance is significantly better. Plus, I also have to admit that the design is a lot more tweaked. I prefer the design this time around versus the previous. They slimmed down the bezels and the display is a lot more clearer. So all in all, is it worth the $439 price tag? Well, I will say this, if you have a Tesla display and you want more out of it, you want some more performance and power, this is absolutely the way to go, because it will give you exactly that. It'll give you everything you want and the versatility to customize it to your liking. If you're someone that's a lot more simpler and want to stick on the simpler side, you can always go with their basic displays, which is very minimal, doesn't require a lot of downloads or requires anything, and you could still have CarPlay enabled. I myself really love this display. I think it's a very good upgrade from the previous display. I think the price tag is definitely a considerable amount, but with the promo code, you can save more. But I do hope that they do start launching some more firmware updates, so that way it helps to polish out the software, helps to address any of the bugs or issues that it has, and I definitely hope to see improvements in the long term with those firmware updates. But all in all, the display I think is a very, very good display, and I would absolutely recommend it. So head on over to TESERY.com, check it out. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you disliked the video, you can hit the dislike button. That helps circulate my videos as well. As always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all on the next episode. Have a good day, and peace!